to be the is it a good option for crypto projects to start looking towards IPO?
Sorry.
As is it a good one for crypto projects to
Sorry,
start
it's
looking towards IPO?
okay, it's echoing. Okay, but then I think I got your question. If it's okay for crypto projects to look at IPO, is that the question?
Yes, yes.
Of course, if that will uh, promote sustainability, why not? You know, I believe in one thing. I believe community-driven projects. And when you do IPO, you are opening up your doors to more people to to be able to join the community, to be able to push these projects, able to sustain values and your vision for whatever project you've started. So for IPO, I don't think it's completely out of place for crypto projects to IPO. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much for that. Headlines, we'll be also be looking. We have the sample projects by CARS, Central African Republic. We still have a discussion around the managing director of IMF. I would say what she said about CBDC during document before I start with other questions. Startups, is it because of the licensing fee or what?
You've gone there. So I can tell you. So I can tell you for a fact that these two consults, we've been working blockchain and currency space since 2017, and our major aim has been to do crypto education, and we've achieved that to a very large extent. We were able to train quite a lot of developers who are doing well for themselves and who are contributing to various projects across the blockchain ecosystem. We've been able to do quite a lot, around ourselves. And with support from the Algorand Foundation, we were able to set up. So instead of moving from one city to the other, doing trainings that are not sustainable, we were able to strike a balance with Algorand, set up a blockchain hub or developers to come in last year. So, and to that, we have about 20, since when we started training, we have about 20 active developers that are doing interns on various projects. So imagine these 20 guys want to build uh, their own blockchain products or their own dApps, as the case may be. Uh, you would bear me witness that these guys cannot meet up to the SEC requirement. For a start, Kusu Consult as a company doesn't even have the 30 million for 30,500,000 for registration to start with. So does that mean that we shouldn't build? that mean that we shouldn't do projects that are sustainable? Does that mean that we shouldn't solve grassroots solution with blockchain approach? Then another thing is the document clearly stated that to be registered, you need assets, bank balance, fixed asset, or other collateral that would to have ₦1 billion. That's 500 million naira. I bet you in this country, you have very few, very few startups, and I can say very few startups that would be able to have that kind of assets as for SEC to be able to consider them. So how do you help startups in Anambra, in Okigwe government? How do you help startups in Sokoto? How do you help startups in Katsina? How do you help startups in Jos? How do you even help startups in Abuja or Lagos to be able to meet up with these requirements? So for me, I feel there can be better approach to this entire SEC document. I was in a conference in November in Abuja. It was organized by the Metropolitan Firm. It's called the International Islamic Financing Conference that was hosted by the Metropolitan Law Firm in Abuja, and Central Bank of Nigeria were invited for that conference, which they were part of the speakers. And I was privileged to ask SEC and CBA a question, which I would repeat what I said here. I asked them, I said, so I am a start builder. I am a grassroots mobilizer. I help promote block adoption across this country. And if I may ask, what's the synergy between CBN? CBN is coming to say dealing with digital assets or cryptocurrencies, it's illegal for commercial to be able to help process these assets, or help liquidate these assets. It is very illegal for anybody to transact with commercial banks using cryptocurrency. And SEC is coming to say, okay, you can issue the previous SEC document, and issue these digital assets. You can, there is a framework that's adopted by CBN and SEC. Now, SEC as a regulatory agency is coming to say, no, this is a framework that if you follow, we will give you a go-to stamp. And CBN is coming to say, no, we are not even recognizing these assets in the first place. So what's the synergy between SEC and CBN to help startups like myself be able to contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's GDP? And what the representative from CBN told me is, and SEC, of course, is they are not going to give room for scammers to thrive. So what the response to my question? So they are not even going to entertain any discussion that has to do with blockchain and that has to do with cryptocurrency adoption in Nigeria. And I cited an instance with this with the CBDC, and which Nigeria recently released, and they said that's a different entirely. But this is a blockchain, a digital asset that is deployed on a private blockchain, that is also a store of value, which is whatever characteristics the e-naira holds can be equated to any digital currency. So myself, I became very discouraged, and then of course I didn't speak further because there and then CBN and SEC kicked this whole thing out, and you come up a few months later with a regulatory policy this to say this is what should be adopted. So it means that um, if I have 850 million naira, I can effectively offer digital currency to the public in Nigeria. I can effectively offer cryptocurrency. Will CBN still clamp down on me for offering this cryptocurrency, even though it's coming with stamp? Do you understand controversy? So there are quite a lot of controversies around here. Now, CBN has not lifted this ban on cryptocurrency. It's coming to say you can issue this cryptocurrency with 850 million naira and with the proper DAO setup. Because, of course, they said they have to approve your DAO, they have to approve XYZ and all of that. But then, does that mean that 850 million naira buys my way to offering digital currency in Nigeria that will be approved by the Nigerian government? So there are quite a lot of controversies in the document, and which I can confidently say, like I said, I am not sure you can find startups like myself who would be able to, who have 850 million naira to pay as approval fee to be able to issue digital currency. Do you understand? So SEC in its policy didn't really look at these things critically before bringing out this policy. I must say that because there's already, you've not treated the ban from CBN. Then you are coming with a policy that says you can issue this digital assets. How do I issue these digital assets? Will my digital assets be pegged to the e-naira? Will my digital assets be, I don't know what the relation with my digital assets has to. So is the e-naira now like a stable coin? Every digital asset will be issued in the country. You know, quite a lot of unanswered questions on that document. So for me, I feel the document, yeah, it introduces a lot of regulatory policies, but then it's not a fully cooked document because there are quite some loopholes around it. I must say that.
Okay, thank you very much. Those are questions that we are also been asking. How are those going to play out? And we have had a lot of people, stakeholders in the blockchain and also in the ecosystem come input their contributions there. So somehow I know Senator was the last day. If there are no response out from the Nigerian Minister of Finance, that is going to stand the SEC relation. And also, I'm happy that we're hearing from you, who is a founder. So it's a very good one. That's why we are here to hear from different people from that has different brands. So let's look at.
Yeah, can
you hear
me make it?
Okay.
So for instance, I am building a blockchain protocol. A blockchain project. Permit me, a DApp. I'm building a DApp, which I intend. I intend to deploy this DApp to the remote, unthinkable places in Nigeria. and of course globally. And then the approach we're giving is to be able to provide alternatives to to of course it's a farmers marketplace, to be able to provide alternative to farmers taking their produce to a centralized to an open market where middlemen will just come in price, and then of course they would say whatever they want to say, and at the end of the day, the farmer home with almost or maybe a profit of 10%, and all of that. So you waste 6 months. Founder from Dubai or from would welcome you, register company, you launch from here, operate from here. And then there are favorable, don't you think I would rather conceiving to Dubai launch? Because I tell you the truth, why it founders Nigeria is because to grow they want Nigeria more habitable, more active, to invest twice a lot of us are here. But when policy please not favorable, then we would consider of moving out to going like Estonia, where
But we have to take a break now. So when we return, we'll continue with the conversation. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa, live on Cnetv. It's our breakfast show where we get you started for the day. We help you get prepared for an amazing day. It comes your way every weekday, 7 a.m. West African time. So, our amazing discussion so far. We've been talking about the lunar. We've been able to talk about different topics on lunar, and also we've been able to explore the possible IPO, repo IPO. And so we are looking at Nigeria's SEC cryptocurrency regulation. So helping us do justice to this is Sunday Stephen, who is the CEO Kusu Consult. So let's look at this, Stephen. Let's look at this. Let's look at
Steven,
what we.
let's
Yeah.
look at this. Let's look at what we have here. Um, I have asked this question to previous go. I know the SEC Nigeria may have come up with a regulation, and most especially people paying fee. Don't you
Sorry,
think?
you skipped a bit. What did you say? People are paying what?
I said many users are paying on the
Okay,
fee.
okay.
What? Yeah, the fee as a major challenge. So, don't you think when it comes to that, a merger won't it is good for startups?
Okay. A merger. So yeah, understand clearly. I would appreciate for people to come together just and then the need for merging will evolve eventually. But if you force people to merge, sustainability might be at stake. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. But as the regulation is standard, there should be a way out.
Yeah.
Away from SEC, yeah, there should be a way out. If there are 10 startups that are doing the same thing and they don't have the fund to go for this licensing, uh, is it not a good option for them to merge? And looking at
So,
that, don't you think
so
SEC is also find a way to encourage all this? Because you can see that there are many, maybe particular problem. There are many startups
okay,
solving
so
one
let me
problem.
ask you a question. Or it's going to be funny.
No problem. Go ahead.
But
Go
then
ahead.
when you look at what NCC is doing, um, NCC is supposed to know that in the Nigeria of today, raising 815 million is not his job. And even if you have 10 startups, like I cited an instance with developers I've trained and the ones I'm still training. Uh, if, you have, if you have 10 of those developers, I bet you might they can. Okay, so in 2009, I attended the FinTech Association of Nigeria's conference in Lagos. And of course, I was a panelist at that event. I remember very that uh, SEC TBN, in fact, CBN precisely said that they are working on a sandbox for start. Now, this simply means that this sandbox can be like an incubation hub for startups. What, it's not completely out of place for SEC to work around a sandbox. And of course, this sandbox will be like an incubation hub. So automatically, SEC becomes part of the DAO. Automatically, SEC becomes like an overseeing body for these startups. So you are not coming to pull people, but you are coming under the watch of under this and see. So whatever you're going to doing, whether you're doing ICO, whether IPO, what is you're doing, it is under the lenses of SEC TBN. So with that, paying 150 million won't be a problem, because at the end of the day, whatever revenue you are generating, no problem is hidden. I don't know if you understand. So whatever whatever charges you're supposed to be making, SEC can actually deduct from source. Now, SEC has not just helped you to launch, but SEC is trying to help you to be sustainable. You know why we have a lot of scams happening around the country? It is because SEC is not getting involved in a lot of schemes that come and go. So every other project is seen as a Ponzi scheme. And that's the problem. Guys, so when we look at brilliant ideas, today Patricia is no longer operating in Nigeria. Huh? Why? Because rather Patricia has moved her headquarters to Rwanda, because Nigeria is not favorable to blockchain and crypto innovations. These are making their money, but they had to move. So I think like actually need is for SEC to be able to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, how can we automatically be part of these startups? How can we force? No project is going to launch in the US without the SEC being involved. No project. In fact, every project that would launch in the US is always being scared of faulting any of the SEC regulation. And that is why projects that are launching outside the US would always come with a warning that says, make sure you are not from these from these listed countries, and the United States is always not missing. Why? Because once anybody who gets into that project is the US, and then is discovered, the project automatically gets an X from SEC. And so a whole lot of these regulations, so we can actually walk around this. In fact, bring a lot of people. Nigeria is the cheapest. So Nigeria is the cheapest to find labor. And we can bring a lot of these inventors down to Nigeria, to work from Nigeria, to launch from Nigeria, because we're giving a favorable working condition. But even when startups in Nigeria are not comfortable, you and I know how many of these startup founders that have left this country to other places. And that's a very bad one for the country. All this that the country is generating as a result of these guys operating here, they are getting them. So for me, I would say that a merger is not even the solution. The solution is SEC trying to find a way to be able to start up founders. For instance, I know a guy in Jos that has designed a very beautiful car. In fact, the state government launched this vehicle themselves. But this guy, for instance, if this guy has to go through regulation, this guy doesn't even have 850 million. In fact, I can bet you that the government will not even invest 850 million in this guy. Do you understand what I mean? So at the end of the day, these founders become very helpless. These founders don't even know what way or which way to go. So it is now left for SEC to go back to the drawing board and say, how can we bring up stakeholders, bring up a working document with stakeholders, and then make it effective. And of course, you would see a lot of adoption of this policy. But I bet you, even till tomorrow, people would still default this policy, because I can't have a beautiful idea, a brilliant idea, and then I can't launch because I'm scared of defaulting SEC. I would simply just move down to Cotonou, and if the conditions are fair, launch from Cotonou. You understand what that means? That's even a bad precedent for Nigeria. So if we can't help our startups will all move to the neighboring countries and launch and open businesses there, and they would thrive. They would do very well. So let's change the narrative from SEC itself, not from the founders.
Okay, let's change the narrative from SEC itself, not the founders. Let's look at, do you think the SEC have done enough when it comes to clamping down on scam projects, especially in the blockchain and cryptos, rather than coming up with a regulation?
No. I would tell you that one of the solutions was what I just finished telling you. They actually, okay, so I have 850 million, and then I give you, and my project, I was able to raise about 30 billion naira. And then it's all a rock pool project. But then I passed sex regulation. All I need to do is just to relocate to another country, and then that is it. And that money is gone for life. What tech has done is to be able to put a stamp on projects that are not even genuine. And then, like I was talking with somebody last week or 2 weeks ago, and the person told me that there is a new project in town in Nigeria. It's all the way from US, blah blah blah. It's a Ponzi scheme anyway. And he now, what he told me? He said, we are even ready with the CAC in Nigeria. Is that enough? A lot of these scam projects get registration from CAC. you wouldn't blame CAC. But then, from this, even from the CAC registration, leave you with SEC that before you register any of these projects, SEC has to give clearance. So if you come for clearance, it means that there is a stake that SEC has to make sure that it's on ground, so that if anything goes sour or if anything goes south, of course you would be forfeiting a whole lot. So you would want to protect people's interests and integrity. So I think there is a whole lot that SEC has to do rather than just sitting down, with regulations and policies. And even the NCC, right? There are quite a lot of work they need to do. Like they need to put, all hands has to be on deck to be able to make sure. The problem with Nigeria is this. Because we're an agency, government agency, so we need to flex our muscles on everybody, and we need to show that we have this power and we have that power. So at the end of the day, work is not being done, and you are just flexing muscle, and then you are dilapidating the ecosystem even further. So a lot of times, a lot of these stakeholders, these key industry players, like it or not, in every society, there are key actors. What we in tech industry call key opinion leaders. There are key actors in every society. If these guys are not involved, because these key actors relate with both the grassroots and those at the top. So if these key players are not involved, regulations and policies might not even be implemented to the latter. And that's a big challenge. That's a very big problem. You understand what I mean?
Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate that contribution. We still just have a few minutes to just a few questions here. We wrap the show, but we are still live here on Cnetv. It is Good Morning Africa. So we are going for a short break. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation. We will be right back.
Welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa live on
TV. It has been an amazing conversation with Sunday Stephen, CEO Kusu Consult. So we've been able to look at different headlines. We've looked at the Luna 2.0. I also looked at statements from Huobi, Bitru, and Binance on supporting that particular Luna 2.0. We've been able to look at Repo exploring IPO option after the SEC lawsuit, and currently dwelling on the Nigerian SEC cryptocurrency regulations. We are still on that. So let's look at, Stephen, in last year when the Central Bank of Nigeria came with the stand against cryptocurrency, they prohibited banks and other financial institutions from providing financial services to cryptocurrency companies, and we saw a lot of cryptocurrency and blockchain projects and leaving the shores of Nigeria. So, what do you say about this SEC new regulation if it stands? Do you think there will be more startups leaving Nigeria? I know you have made mention of that briefly earlier on.
Obviously, because it's going to cost me. So the 850 million would settle me in any part of this world. Yes, it will settle me in any part of this world. It will get me started anywhere. With bigger and better investors. Okay, I'm not trying to put down Africa or Nigeria, but if I am raising in, for instance, I'm raising in Dubai, and then I'm raising in from Nigeria, I bet you I will be more successful in Dubai. Why? Because a lot of people would prefer a startup from Dubai than a startup from Nigeria because of the scam thing, that we might not be genuine. That doesn't mean that startups from here haven't really gained funding and investments. They have attracted quite a lot. Nigeria, to be precise, But then, if I have 850 million naira to pay SEC, I would rather go elsewhere and launch from somewhere than launching here, because
But if you do that, what of your customers? Most of them
I
are they
I
not here?
can I can I can I can put a lot of funding into marketing, and I'll get customers anywhere I want, anywhere. For instance, Binance is not a Nigerian-based company, but Nigerians, 80% of crypto engagements on centralized exchanges is coming from Binance. But Binance is not a Nigerian company. You understand what I mean?
Do you how do you say that? Do you have some stats to back up those
I am
claims
okay.
that
Okay, so let
80%
me
of
tell you.
trades
Let
are
me
coming
even
from
tell you.
Binance?
Let me even tell you that I am, like I said, I'm a grassroots educator, mobilizer, blockchain adoption mobilizer. I have worked with a lot of people in the grassroots. I've been to more than 20 universities to speak about blockchain and cryptocurrency. I've spoken in student conferences across many universities. And the first thing they ask you when they ask you about um, cryptocurrency engagement, they say, "Do I need a Binance wallet?" What does that inform you? What does that tell you? That means that the only exchange they hear, or the only thing they hear, is there is an exchange. If you want to do crypto, you need to own a Binance wallet. Do you understand what I mean? It means, this simply means that Binance has done quite a lot of homework. And with the recent sponsorship that Binance is doing at different events in the country, you should know that Binance is trying to take hold.
But there is no start to back that up.
That's
So
yeah. I'm telling you this based on my
your own personal experience.
yes. I'm
Okay,
not saying it's a
okay,
published statistics, but I'm just telling
okay.
you that based on my engagements, this is what I've come to discover. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if that kind of statistics, or if you have that kind of information, then it should tell you that you don't necessarily to be in Nigeria. A lot of the consumables we use in this country are actually not produced here. Quite a lot of it, but we still use them. You know, Apple is not a Nigerian company, but everybody wants to own an Apple phone. In fact, Nigeria doesn't even have a mobile phone company, right? There was a time that Techno was the highest selling mobile phone in Nigeria. And then Techno is not a Nigerian company, you know? So what I'm just trying to say is it doesn't necessarily have to do with your geolocation. As long as you're able to work on your marketing, you would be able to get the customers anywhere you want, anywhere that is of interest to you. I know of a company that operates in London. It's one of our competitors. They operate in London, but just in Nigeria, they work with about 10 million farmers. Just in Nigeria. But in fact, they are headquartered their headquarters is in the US. Their African headquarters is in London. The Nigerian office is quite okay, but most of their operation is happening around. They have 10 million farmers they work with in Nigeria, yet it's not a Nigerian company. So geolocation is not it, but then what are you providing? What's the service that you're providing? So I see a lot of people leaving Nigeria to other places to build up companies, to build up startups, to build up customer base and all of that. So that's my take.
A nice one from you there. Thank you very
Thank
much. I really appreciate those contributions. Very nice one there. Lastly, before we close on the discussion, your advice to cryptocurrency startups on how to go about the ACC regulation.
So just keep building, just keep building, and eventually something might just come up. Even with the deadline of the minister taking a stand or not, it can always be reversed. You know, there is always a higher power to SEC. SEC is answerable to somebody. So whatever policy they bring can be reversed. Just keep building. Don't get discouraged. We this policy is to me is a distraction. So just keep building, and eventually we'll be successful. We will have startups not leaving Nigeria, startups working from Nigeria, startups collaborating with SEC and CBN to be able to launch disruptive ideas, and we will be successful eventually. That's my take home.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Nice one there from you, Sunday Stephen, CEO, Kuzu Consult, who has really joined us this morning to dissect different trending headlines Thank you very much, Kusu, for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you so much. Thank you very much, brother.
Okay, it's our pleasure. Thank you. Bye bye.
Let's
So
it's still Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. Amazing conversation it has really been. Our guest has really helped us to dissect these different headlines that we have. We couldn't even run all of them through because of our time. We're almost concluding for the morning show today. So we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It's still Good Morning Africa live on Cnetv. So do well to follow us across all our social media at Cnetv1. So I must say that today's episode is very, very interesting as it has always been. We are trying to wrap up the show. So let's do some recap on some of what we did today. So today we started with an introduction as usual. So we looked at motivation for the day and also some market updates. We were able to bring you market updates from cryptocurrency market, stock market, commodity market, and FS market. So we also brought you so many headlines and trending stories ranging from Kristalina Georgieva, who is the managing director of IMF News, calling for interoperability between different CBDC at the World Economic Forum. So we also looked at Luna. About 65% of Luna addresses has voted yes to Luna 2.0, as Luna 2.0 is set to launch tomorrow. So we see how that unveils how it plays out tomorrow. And we also brought you the headline that Huobi, Bitrue, and Binance has another top exchanges. They are set to support Luna 2.0. So we saw tweets by Huobi, saw tweet by Binance, we saw tweet by Bitrue, and all the rest that we brought your way about Luna 2.0 coming, going live tomorrow. So we also brought you the headline that Ripple will explore IPO after SEC lawsuit ends, says CEO Brad Garlinghouse. So we saw him making that statement. We also brought you that Project Sango. Project Sango is the crypto hub being embarked by Central African Republic. That headline says, World Bank not happy with Central African Republic crypto hub project, says 35 million loan to 25 million loan to Central African Republic unrelated to their crypto project. So we were able to bring you the SEC Nigeria's crypto regulations and licensing fees. So our guest was able to shed more light on his own opinion about that particular SEC regulation. So update on Cnetv Dubai tour. Our guest will be giving you that tomorrow. We have some documentary on that, so we'll just be playing them briefly tomorrow. So we are here to keep you updated on what is happening in the blockchain, crypto, and fintech ecosystem. Always tune into Cnetv live. Just join us now on our YouTube for now. So we are still working on our TV app. So for now, hook up to Cnetv YouTube channel every 7 a.m. Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. West African time. I am your host for this show, Lee Uchamohere. So I'll be coming your way again tomorrow with other interesting headlines and guests. Thank you, and we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.